Guys, welcome to Better Bachelor. My name is Joker with a face for radio and a voice for print. I'm busy working on the building today, trying to get some stuff done on the land, but I did want to put out a video today of something that I'm noticing that I think is kind of important. Maybe it's a little bit of a white pill. You know, a lot of the times we talk, or I talk at least, and you listen about a lot of the things that are kind of going wrong in the way that they're targeting men and how masculinity is bad and, you know, a lot of the other topics we got going on today. But one thing I think that is happening finally is the message is starting to get through. And I think kind of the strong man, or strong men, you could call them, maybe the silent majority. I don't know which way you'd really want to phrase that. But I think a lot of men have just started having enough. And it's across multiple topics that I'll kind of mention here. The first one I'm going to talk about is a poll that I saw on Twitter that was done by somebody that runs a podcast or a news channel. I forget who it was, but it was a poll, and it wasn't somebody in kind of the men's community, nor was it somebody that's overtly, conservative. I think it was somebody that was mostly doing dating stuff. But it had 100,000, it had been shared a lot, and it had 100,000 votes on it. And it said, men, would you rather date a woman with a high body count, date a woman that's a single mother, date a woman, what was the other one? Date a woman, that had a Only Fools account, or would you rather just stay single? And the number one answer of the four was just staying single. And this person was blown away because he said, I get maybe not single moms, but who cares about the Only Fools account? It's just to make money. Now, obviously, they're not an extremely conservative person. And they said, well, who cares if a woman's got a high body count? Like, what's that matter? But I think more and more men are discovering, something. These women that have these type of accounts or that have high body counts, no relationships work out with them. Like, things just don't turn out so well. So I'm not really interested in that. I'd rather do my own thing. I think that is a huge win. That is how we change the culture. That is men not accepting second best. And that is men saying, I'd rather be alone until my options are better. And I think that's key because it means the players are still going to play and the women will still get played by players. But at least the men won't get played by these women. They won't sacrifice what they want in a relationship to get second best or to be the provider after she's had, a decade worth of fun in her 20s. So number one, I think that's a huge win. And I'm seeing this more and more in various podcasts that are coming out. There's now TikTok girls, women on TikTok, that are out there posting how, they're actually against that kind of thing and they think that feminism is doing worse things for women and how it seems like they have to work and no men want them and they're going to be alone until they die. I think it's starting to catch on. Now, maybe not in huge droves. But again, every time we see a little bit of a win, I think it's maybe a good thing to hold on to that and say, hey, you know what? Maybe we're able to do something. The second one I want to talk about is the media. You've got a lot of these hack journalists that are writing for The Atlantic, Fox News, ABC, NBC, CBS, Daily, whatever. And they're starting to crack because what they're seeing is that maybe the best way I can put it is if you try to convince somebody to love you, the less likely they are to love you. And the more desperate you are to get that person to love you, the less likely they are to love you. So as these news media and all these hack journalists and everybody that's been spouting lies and putting down men and everything else. Sorry, I'm getting a little distracted here. Walker's wanting some love. As these people start they've lied so much that people have stopped listening to them. And as they lose their grip on the masses and their views go down and their views become more irrelevant, and again, the majority of these places, the ER, the production team, the research, a lot of these places have a lot of women in them, and women are emotional, and they think that they can like raw emotion you into where they want you to be when it comes to the way you think. That's not how men think. And so men are looking at this like, well, you're trying to play on my heartstrings, and that's not going to work. Tell me the data, tell me the truth, tell me what's going on, and stop lying to me. Well, now the media, and I'll use CNN as a good example. Not that, a lot of the conservative ones aren't any better, but CNN's a great example. They get caught lying about Trump, about Russia, about what's going on in the conflict going on right now, about the jabs, about all this stuff. And people have just said, you know what, you've lied to me too many times, and I'm not going to listen to you anymore, and they've moved on. And now you have YouTubers, people on Rumble, podcasts. You look at someone like Joe Rogan or Russell Brand or Jimmy Dore. There's a lot of just entertainers out there that are at least being more honest with what's going on in the news, and they're getting the views. And as the mass media dies, they're going to start lashing out because they're the narcissist that isn't getting their drip. They're not getting their attention anymore, and they're starting to panic, and they're starting to suffer. And the only thing they can do is, instead of telling the truth, because that would be too easy and also it doesn't spread their narrative, they've decided they're going to start doubling and tripling down. I saw a story today, and I wish I had it. You know me, I like to put up the screenshots of stuff or read the articles, but you can search it out if you disbelieve me. I want to say it was in the Atlantic, and it's about Ron DeSantis announcing his presidency in a Twitter Spaces. And I think he's doing that tonight, where Elon Musk is going to host Ron DeSantis on Twitter, and they're going to have a Spaces where, nobodies like myself can just say, hey, I want to raise my hand and ask a question, and it's not screened, and it's not prepared. It's not been okayed by the news media. It's not been prepared by, the politician. And the news media is so angry that, the Atlantic tonight, or the Atlantic said, Ron DeSantis is announcing his presidency on Twitter to Elon Musk because David Duke apparently wasn't available. Now, if you don't know who David Duke was, look him up. He was known for being a white supreme and a member of the Kilo group, the Triple K. And so basically now she's calling Elon Musk and Ron DeSantis, the most supremes and the worst of, that's obviously that's not true. But what they've done is they've taken, you're racist, you're an ist, you're a phobe, you're a white supreme, you're literally you will go into the oven. They've compared everybody to the worst people of the worst, and now people are numb to that. And no matter how much they try to pound you in the face, listen to me, this person's the worst of the worst, and you must be concerned about this. People are just like, whatever. Now you can call somebody an ist or a phobe or all these other names, which, honestly, 5 years ago, if you called me one of these things, I would have said, look, no way. I'm going to defend myself. Now when somebody calls you that, you're like, whatever, just shut up. You know what I mean? It has no power anymore. They've gone over the top. And remember, the over the top and the hyper emotional and the going too far, that's kind of a woman and a male feminist kind of thing. And so they've shot themselves in the foot. And now the media is starting to lose power. Then on top of that, you've got, look at the movies. Movies are not selling anymore because they've gone in on the agenda, and they've got the Kathleen Kennedys, and they've got the women. This empowered woman is going to direct this movie, even though she's only directed 3 commercials for TV before. And the movie industry is going down the toilet. And now most recently, you look at a Budweiser, Miller Lite, now Target, coming out with the LDHD TV and all their products. And all the women that are doing this marketing are young, or I shouldn't say all the women, all the people doing this marketing are young and female. And they've drank from the Kool-Aid, and now they're coming out into the real world trying to get you to drink the Kool-Aid, and most normal people are not having it. In the past, myself included, I avoided topics like this on my channel. I'd always say, I don't want to get political. I don't want to talk about this stuff. There's people all around the world, not just American politics, but now we're seeing it in Australia and in Canada and in Germany and Netherlands and all of Europe. I mean, some people have reached out to me and said they're starting to see this now in the Philippines and Thailand and everything else. So it's not particular American politics. It's just the left authoritarian, drink the Kool-Aid, or the other side, which is just like, would you please leave me the hell alone and let me do my thing? Well, usually the leave me alone people are just like, I don't pay attention to this stuff. I don't care. I'm going to do my own thing. I want to be left alone. And I think those people now are starting to say, you know what? I've had enough. Like, now you're trying to take my freedoms away from me. Now you're trying to take now you're just trying to shove everything down my throat, and I'm tired of it. And now there's pushback. And Target's most recent thing, what I think is so brilliant is this all started out with Budweiser, Bud Light, right? And then Miller Lite came out, and they got a little bit of pushback, but it didn't really take off too much because it was just like a weak little feminist thing. But now they've got children's clothing that have the LDHD TV and tuck-friendly options for kids. And I've seen a couple of videos of men just walking in and being like, yoink, pulling it down, ripping it up, throwing it on the ground, picking the clothes up, throwing them on the ground. I'm not saying that's a good thing, but in the same token, once somebody hits their limit and they go, that's it, I'm done. And it's one of the things that the left always does is they will destroy things, they will scream, they will throw a tantrum, and everybody says, okay, we gotta give these babies their pacifiers so that they'll stop screaming on Twitter and giving us a hard time. Well, now what's happening, and I think this is okay, it's not my idea, or not my ideal situation, but let's face it, it's worked for the left. So now the conservatives or the liberals or the people that are not in on all the indoctrination are like, you know what, I'm going to throw some tantrums. And I'm also going to penalize you with money. Bud Light may be down 25% for the year, not just Bud Light, but Anheuser-Busch. Their stock may lose all the gains it's had in the last year or two. JP Morgan, I think, said that they expect them to have a 25% loss on sales for the year, and it'll never recover because the people that they ticked off are just never coming back. And I think that's happening in the dating industry. And I think that's happening when it comes to movies. And I think that's happening in a lot of things, that more and more people are just going, I'm out, I'm done. I don't know, let me know what you guys think. Me personally, I'm just seeing all these little segments of pushback starting to happen, and people are pushing back with their dollars, and they're being loud about it. Because already, I mean, here we are, Pride Month is for June, we're not even there yet, and already these companies are starting to come out with all their LDHD TV stuff. Target's already taken down these displays because they got such strong pushback on Twitter and in their stores, and their stock price started dropping off a little bit. They went, hold on, okay, let's move these displays to the back of the store, or we're going to take them down, and we haven't even made it to June yet. And a representative and again, I wish I had these stories, but you can find them up. A representative for Target said, hey, be careful. You do not want to have, and I guess this is marketing over to sales or something like that. They said, hey, you do not want to have a Bud Light incident. Be very careful. And that was enough to scare, Target to take down their stuff. So I think if we continue to move like locusts and we say, I'm boycotting this drink, I'm boycotting this brand, I'm boycotting this store, I'm boycotting single moms, I'm boycotting if they have only fools, I'm boycotting women with high body counts, I'm boycotting Hollywood, I'm just shut it all down. You won't have to do that forever, but in many ways, maybe this is a good opportunity to look for a local brand of something. Look for a mom and pop shop. Look for someone local that you can spend your money with, and maybe it'll tell you, hey, get off the dating apps if you want to date, go meet somebody in the real world, and you'll probably meet somebody that is at least a little bit closer to normal. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I appreciate you tuning in. I'll put out another video shortly behind this to show you guys the mess that is my that is my building and everything I've got going on, just in case you're curious, because what I plan to do is, again, this is my trial run, and whatever works here, eventually when I find land for the men's retreat, I'm going to hopefully do some of what I'm doing here for that, And I think you guys will find it interesting. So, all right, guys, I'm going to keep it at that, and we'll see you in the next one.